Hi everybody, in this video we are going to cover a very simple thing that you can do with your leads and clients on a regular basis to get them to stay more engaged and involved and to have their actual buy-in to your process. Okay, I want to start today's video with a question. How do you eat an elephant? Well, I would advise you against it, but if you are going to eat an elephant, I would say you'd have to eat it one bite at a time. And I think the same approach or same thinking should apply to your client and when you deal with your client. Meaning if you told your client end-to-end process of what they were going to go through to work with you and a franchisor and gave them every granular detail step, many of them would step back and say, wow, that sounds like a big process, or it sounds more difficult, or I don't know if I'm up for that. Not that you should be hiding or not divulging every single aspect of it. I'm not saying that at all. You should speak to your client. You should give them a good understanding of the end-to-end process because frankly it makes us look better as brokers, meaning showing that we have a designated process in place and there are steps that have a logical progression to them. That's a good thing. So I'm by no means saying that. But what I am saying is reminding your clients throughout the process as to why you're doing the things you're doing and how that might benefit them can make your client feel more comfortable, have a better understanding of the overall process, and feel more inclined to help you help them. Simply put, if someone has a vested interest or they understand why they're doing something or they understand that what they're doing can help them ultimately, you're going to find a more loyal person and a more willing participant in any process. So again, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? How do you work with a client and get them through the steps? Through your process, you're going to have to ask your client questions. Let's use the qualifying step as an example. You're going to have to ask your client personal questions. You're going to have to dig into their personal history, their financials, who they are, what they want to do, what they like, what they don't like. Are they going to have business partners? There's a whole slew of things that are ingrained in their conversation with you. So at some point you want to have a deep dialogue with them, and to get that to be more effective and to have them understand why you're digging into their personal situation and to get them to be more honest, simply tell them why you're doing it. Something as simple as, Joe, we need to talk a little bit about your history and your background. What you've done in business, what you've done for the corporate world, what you like, what you dislike, what you want to do for your future. And the reason I'm asking you these things, Joe, I'm going to use that information when I start my search for the right franchise for you to consider. I'm going to go to franchises and review their model and try to understand what the owner does on a day-to-day basis and how that might impact you negatively or positively. So I'm going to dig in and look for franchises that we come to the conclusion together are appropriate for you to review, and I'm going to refer them over to you and you to them. So you're going to get connected with the franchisors and start to have a conversation with them directly. Does that make sense, Joe? The client's going to either do one of two things. He's going to say yes or no. If he says no, then you have an opportunity to discuss with your client why it's not the case. It might be go into one of those hard question type things, meaning maybe you don't want to find out why the client doesn't want to speak to a franchisor. It may end up saving you time and you have the wrong client, which is a whole nother video. But if the client says yes, it makes sense. What you've done there is you've demonstrated that you have a process. You demonstrated that there's a methodology to your business, that you're helping them. You've got your clients buy-in so they understand what your process is. They're more likely to be willing to participate and give you more information, which will ultimately help you and the franchisor. You've also reinforced to your client that you're introducing them to a franchisor and that there is an expectation of your client speaking to that franchisor, which again is just reinforcing your process. And probably most importantly is you've got your client's buy-in to the whole situation. Meaning your client has said, yeah, that makes sense to me, or okay, I get it. So again, you're setting them up for the next step. Not setting them up in a bad way. You're informing them and educating them that the next step in your process, which is a defined process specifically geared to helping them get in front of the right franchisor, you're preparing them for that step in that process, which makes your client more comfortable, makes them better informed, makes them more honest and direct with you, and increases your likelihood of getting them to stay engaged with you and to follow through with the process. Because ultimately, no matter what franchise system they buy or join, they're going to have to adhere to a process, and it's going to have to be a give and take. I appreciate everyone's questions and feedback to date. I want to encourage everybody, if you have another topic that you want to have me address, please let me know, and I'd be happy to address it. Thank you very much, and have a great day.